Welcome back, Overwatch fans, to another amazing night.
We have a fantastic match tonight, no question about it.
Oh my god, yes!
Put the barrage! Make sure they can't even follow up afterwards.
And Wash has found 2 in this fight thus far. Make that 3, make that 4 right now here. Dynamic team gets a 4-man tire.
Those who find the picks will save the fights, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
Andre gets 3 with the primal rage.
Experience Tranquility.
Hello and welcome back to Tranquility X VALORANT. Of course, I'm Katz here with Easel. We've got another week coming up for you guys. It's the Pepega Pufferfish up versus the McDegens. And you know, when you get into leagues like these, you got to start to love their name sometimes.
I really like the naming convention going on here. And I'm just going to start it off hot. Gotta favor the Pepega Pufferfish here because they're 4-0 on their matches coming into this.
Yeah, 4-0, looking incredibly dominant as well. I think I was able to peek at it. And they've had 2 zeros across the board. So they haven't dropped a single map. And so hopefully they're looking pretty comfortable coming to this. But McDegens looking to take them down. Currently 2-2 in the standing. So have been able to pick up a couple wins, but have lost a couple as well. So hopefully they'll be able to at least take a map off of them. This is my 3rd or 4th week casting here with Tranquility. And we still haven't seen a 3rd match on stream. So hopefully try to get to that 3rd map.
I want to have faith in McDegens. It looks like we're going into map hit right here, so we'll talk about that as that pops up. But I want to say I want to have faith in the Degens. I'm looking at their ranks, and they are a little bit lower ranked than Pepega Pufferfish, but I don't think that can stop them because like there's a really big, mental game in Valorant. If you can have confidence in your plays and you can really play off of each other, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to, have those coordinated pushes and those outplays. So it's a very real possibility they could put up a fight here. I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, the opportunity is definitely there, but you mentioned trying to get a little bit of momentum under their belt as well. Momentum is such a big thing in Valorant. If you're able to win a pistol or if you're able to win a round on an eco, thrifty, you just get so much momentum on your side. You get the econ, you get, we just beat these guys with pistols and shorties, whatever you may have had, they're beatable and they'll see that. But competitively, Pearl was in the map pool. It was added to ranked, and we're still not going to see it. Sad day.
I can't imagine any team wanting to pick Pearl because even if you have played it in ranked, even if you did the 2-3 weeks of practice, you're still just not going to know the best angles to hold in for all that already.
Yeah, I mean, Pearl's been a map that was, I think it was in the actually last game or last stream's week. It came as our final ban, so we were so close. I was praying for it. I want to see this map. I love playing on the map. It's a great addition to Valorant. Rip Split, still gonna miss it. But either way, it is Icebox as our first map. Fracture as our second pick there by McDegens, as our decider will come in just a second as we're waiting for those final 2 bans.
And I have a couple notes on Pepega Pufferfish, and pretty much one of the only notes is Yummy Mac from Pepega Pufferfish has a 70% win rate on Icebox.
Oh.
And that's their first map. So I can see this being a 1-0 for the start for Pepega just because they're more comfortable. That's kind of their home ground. So, McDegens are really going to have to turn it up on Fracture.
Yeah, I mean, 70% win rate is nothing to be trifled with. But, of course, outside of ranked, once you get into that competitive setting, everything changes. And especially some of these lower ranked games, it's all about how you're playing versus other team. You have to be able to feel them out. You have to be able to, okay, are they going to make adjustments? Do we need to make adjustments going into, say, second half or even into that next map? And you mentioned Fracture as well, McDegens with that pick. So maybe they're a bit more comfortable on it, but it is Breeze being taken away here. by the Pega Pufferfish. So we'll have to see what our decider is, what Mick Degens decides to put us on for that potential map 3.
And like you were talking about before with the economy being such a big deal with the, it can really snowball at the beginning. At that half, when the economy resets, they might have an extra chance there to reel it back in. Because I've been watching games recently where they're down 4-8 or 5-7, and they're just dominant on the defensive half. And even in some of the pro matches where it's like Fnatic are getting destroyed on their attack, like they can barely get around. But if you can have like a coordinated defense, that's your chance to bring it back. And with that economy reset, I think the same thing can happen.
Yeah, I don't even want to start talking about the 9-3 curse this early, but it's real. As someone who hasn't played Valorant for that long, it's way too real for it not to actually. I think Riot just does it intentionally. I think they might start nerfing bullets every now and then.
I saw a theory recently about that the hit detection kind of like favors the game to make it closer, but that's a bit of a tinfoil hat theory. It looks like we're gonna have Bind for our final map, which, depending on who you are, very fun. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think it's a fun one.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a really fun one. Fracture is one of those maps a lot of people hate as well, just the way it's split. But Bind, with those teleports, just opens up such a different way to play the game where you can insta-rotate to the other side of the map. And there's just so many different angles you can hold, especially with the B-long teleport.
I mean, and you combo that with agents who can teleport, like Yoru or Chamber, and I think it can just get really exciting because the whole map dynamic can get completely flipped. If the attackers can get, or even the defenders, if they want to push and go in that TP, suddenly they could be behind the attackers coming into the A side site, like coming up through showers. So I think it adds a pretty fun dynamic. We got our attack and defenses up on the map now, and yeah, I think we're in for a bit of a treat here. I'm not sure what to expect because Pega Pufferfish are obviously coming into this looking pretty strong, but gotta root for the underdogs.
Always gotta root for the underdogs at this point. And we mentioned those teleports, and once the agents come into play, I saw something like really fun last week. It turns into a mind game when you have something like an Omen on your team that can just, he'll take the teleport, I'll teleport back to the main site. They think you're on the opposite side of the map. So it turns into essentially a mind game. You can throw a gun through it, you can throw your pistol through it, and just try and fake that teleport out the other way. And it's things like that that make the teleports a lot more have a lot more depth than you really initially think they do.
Yeah, and it kind of is what gives it as a Valorant map that unique pull. Every map has its little thing that makes it cool. Versus there's Pearl, which is its thing is that it doesn't have a thing, so it's basically a CS:GO map. But I think that's what is exciting about Bind is it couldn't work as a CS:GO map. Like the whole dynamic of the whole map has changed just by those two little spots.
Yeah, and you mentioned Pearl is like a CSGO map. I hadn't thought of that. That might be why I love it. In all honesty, it's just such a fun, straightforward map to me. I'm still.
Well, I wouldn't call that mid straightforward.
Well, okay. There's a couple different ways you can go. I guess out of mid, out of literally everywhere else on that map. But
I know we're not seeing it in this series tonight, but maybe in the next one we'll get to see that Prime Pearl gameplay. Because I was watching an analysis video, there are some pretty good strats that can come into play with how the site can be split up.
Yeah, I think I might have dreams about casting it later tonight after this one. One day it'll happen, but here we are into character select. Of course, Pega Pufferfish going to be defending first time around, and Mick Degens on the attack.
Really quick on their login. It looks like they already know their agent composition coming into this. They have a lot of confidence with that. And you have to see the Chamber. The Chamber's been so dominant in the current meta with the Valorant's going through right now that he can pretty much lock down a site. If Mick Bubba Wyatt is hitting those shots, Mick Bubba Wyatt could hold down that whole site because the trap can hold one part, he can hold the other, and they can afford to stack more players on the other one. And it looks like we're going to get the Chamber from both sides.
Yeah, and definitely something you expect, especially on Icebox, where you have a lot of really long lanes that can be shut down by the Tour de Force. If you're able to get just shut down, say, be long or even mid, you throw the chamber mid, and he always gets that pretty much free shot no matter what with the rendezvous. But what I'm really interested in to look at here is actually this raise. This is not something I feel like I see that often on Icebox.
Because Raze is not as good, but like you're talking about, Raze isn't necessarily a long-range agent in the way that you might consider Jet to be with her quick dash away, like the same way Chamber can dash away. But I think that Raze is really good on A site. Like when Icebox first came out, I remember everyone was trying to play Raze on it because those satchels give you such good verticality and it forces them to clear so many additional angles. And if you can land a nade on that site, it's a small site. You can get the whole bottom corner of a site with one piece of utility.
Oh, most certainly. And looking at the information legends as well, it's going to be a KO and a Sova for both teams respectively. And Sova, Mallard, I'm really excited to see some lineups. I know we got a bunch of observers here tonight as well, so I always love watching the darts just fly across the map.
That 100%. I'm personally, I used to be a Sova main, so I'm biased towards Sova over the more modern Fade picks or necessarily a KO. But KO does have as utility and useful. The KO flashes are so good at really like a total blind because you can toss the flash behind you with an underhand, and it kind of works like faster than a lot of the other agents can flash for themselves. So when KO's left in an individual situation, I think can be a lot more viable than Sova can necessarily be just getting information. And with his shock darts being nerfed, there's no wonder why he's not as popular in recent matches.
Revealing area.
Definitely, but here we are into round one, map one of course, the McDegens versus the Pepega Pufferfish. Hopefully McDegens get a good start. We'd love to see some momentum go their way, is potentially looking for that A attack.
And they tried to get that early intel, but it looks like McDegens are playing nice and far back. I like that they haven't gotten too aggressive here. They're respecting their opponents here. They know that their opponents have been doing good in their maps. I'm sure they've been looking at the map pool results. But the question is, have they given them too much respect? And is it because they're almost in sight? They're at yellow boxes. If they can get all the way around this site, it might be a pretty difficult retake. Yeah, a lot of Viper walls going up here as well as the spike going down. And they're going to be able to get the spike down here early. It's going to be the opportunity to retake now for the McDegens. They're trying to get on site, taking it really slow around these corners, but they are just posted up. It's a 1-for-1 trade already. And already, two more members go down as frags are just going left and right. Shady B holding this corner. He knows someone's yellow. He's going to take it slow around the corner, able to take down Sage, but he is left in the 1v2. And he's got the spike ticking down. 66 health remaining and just barely enough bullets to pull off 2 kills. And there it is. Yummy Mac to finish it off. In round number 1 of the Pepega Pufferfish. And when you're left in that high-low situation, just the way that Pepega Pufferfish were holding that, you can't hit both of those shots at the same time. So it's really beautiful teammate coordination on the end there, just to make sure that they're not taking solo fights and forcing them to, peek 2 people at once and guaranteeing the trade to come through. Yeah, fantastic start though for them, and it's going to be pretty much a full buy across the board. Spectres and Heavy for everyone along the likes of Pepega Pufferfish. They're really trying to push out this bonus round. If a team's not buying on their first win in the map, they're kind of growing. Yeah. You need to, like you were talking about, the momentum and making sure that you can really solidify. If you can get that round 2 win, that's a good chunk of change that you're going to have in your pocket. And who knows? Spectres can be lethal, so you can carry those over to round 3 and maybe even catch some of those Phantoms and Vandals off guard. Yeah, I know I'm a really big fan of actually going for those, or holding on to that Spectre round 3. It just puts your economy in a great spot. Even if you do end up losing that round, if you're able to get 1, 2, 3 picks, whatever it may be, it slowly dwindles the economy just a little bit more. But it is Pepega Pufferfish all the way on to B side already. Spike going down. It's a great Sage wall here. Going to catch out the enemy Sage. Get the first kill there. Now left into the 2v5. Nobody fallen here from Pepega Pufferfish just yet, as they're looking for a perfect execute here in their bonus round. And that's a flawless. They just played to their advantage, and the full buy coming in strong. You saw that 1v1 right around the stage wall. The Spectre's gonna beat that classic every time. And they just played that smart. They prodded the whole map. They had presence on A, they had presence on B. Got the pick on B. It's an easy rotate. There's less people on site, and they just can't get there in time. The classics aren't gonna cut it at that point.
Yeah, but it is going to be full rifles across the board now for McDgens as they look for an opportunity to try and steal away their first round. Still the full Spectres on the side of Pepega Pufferfish, and I really like it. Even if they do end up losing the round, they're going to have so many credits to work with.
If they win this save here, that will put them in a huge advantage, and they go ahead and get down Shady right off the bat. And if Chamber can't anchor the site right here, he gets one. That they needed that one. He gets another, and those are the ones that they needed to bring this back to a 3v3 and put them in a potentially winnable situation.
Yeah, a couple of guns, though, going over to the side of Pepega Pufferfish. So they're going to have a Phantom and a Vandal, I believe, to their name. Elixir trying to keep around this corner. Going to catch up the Sage as she's able to pick up one. Now looking for the second as the retake opportunity is still there from the defense. Oh my goodness, the flank from Mallard. I don't think I expected that, or even anyone else, but it's going to be another two falling, and that's just almost... Oh, we're in the 1v1.
Forced to get off the defuse, but he has it halfway. I don't think Viper knows.
Oh, he stuck it. The clutch there, and what a wall. And he gets the headshot at the end. What a kill, but a lot of damage once again done at the end of that round.
Yeah, even though they end up winning the round, they lost almost every gun that they invested, and because Pepega Pufferfish were going for that save, they brought pretty much only Spectres into that round. They're honestly coming on top, even if they had to concede that one round, and conceded in a 1v1, so props to them for making that one as close as it possibly could.
Yeah,
looks like we're going for an A hit this time.
Trying to force in quick here as well. As you have Gambo on the lurk. He's playing that close angle. He's able to find it. McBubba gets the first kill.
It's the tour de force on mine. So they're definitely going to want to go for an A hit here to avoid that. Fourth and mid. Sights anchored down. It looks like Pepega Pufferfish may have gotten someone in kitchen while they were doing A presence. The question is, can he capitalize on that and get them onto a site? A 2v5 situation. Got the flank on him.
One enemy remaining. Spike down. Attacker spawn.
Left into the 1v5 situation. Not much else you can do other than maybe try and save. Yeah, you can get an exit frag or two on the way out, but with Spike down, it's a bit of a struggle to even try and find those frags at the end of the day.
Yeah, and
Yummy Mac though
gets one, but at this point you're not really optimistic about winning the round, so it definitely turns into a bit of a save the gun and maybe salvage our economy, because they did full buy into this one because they lost the last one. So this is looking really good for Pepega Pufferfish if they can keep this coordination and see if they grouped up around the Spike. Being able to trade if the Viper is able to find anybody, it would be extremely valuable.
Yeah, well, McBubba White eventually finds him after he does get that kill. Is able to just, they know exactly where he is, able to finish him off. And back all tied up. So McDgens able to put up a nice and early fight. Nobody really drops there as well, so they're not forced to buy up other than McOptibot, and he's actually going to opt for the Spectre Light as well. So a lot of extra credits in his hands as well.
And that tour de force was honestly the MVP of that round, because even on a light buy, it can be used as pretty much the most lethal gun in the game. With its fast reload time, it's an oppa better. And if he's locking down that long situation, they didn't have a choice but to try and force A, and they had 3 people, maybe 4, stacking towards mid to A last round.
Yeah, and potentially looking for another A hit here as well. They are slowed down by a couple of these stage views. Stormworm's doing a lot. Chamber forcing his way through with the help of Ray. She's got the rocket fuse, not able to find any kills with that. Not even any damage at the end of the day either. And I think this Spike might just go down as the Viper ultimate comes out here as well. Shots being thrown into the ultimate, but nothing finds Elixir.
Was in the corner. I don't think he knows who to
looking to enter. Yeah, Mallard was just waiting patiently in the wings, still waiting. playing super close. He's gonna swing out, finds one, but gets traded back by Octobot. And now, a quick flash, trying to look forward onto Yummy Mac, but doesn't spot him.
Viper's in the same corner.
And he's in the same corner again. Are they gonna check it? No, he's not gonna check it. Yummy Mac with the judge gets 2. We're left in the 1v1, trying to go for the turnaround. He's able to find it. Oh my goodness, Game-O. He's able to find it with the classic.
It was with the classic.
I think it was.
Because Sage couldn't get her gun back out in time. I think she might have ran out of bullets from getting that last pick there. Just total chaos to close out that round in the Viper Pit. And the Viper Pit was a really good idea. And the judge completely lethal. But the thing of Pufferfish, they just had the better positions. Sage is able to land those slow tap headshots. And the classic's not a good gun, but if your opponent can't get theirs out, it's good enough.
It's better than nothing, I guess. If you've got no bullets, you can't just throw them at them, unfortunately. They are going to spot out this chamber opping down B long, so nope. I'm not having that today. They'll rotate.
Yeah, I think they learned their lesson from that tour de force round we had a couple of rounds ago. And they're just trying to play for contact towards A. Maybe see if they can get a little bit progress to get that pick through mid. The judge can't play mid. I think that might have been a little bit of a mistake on her part from peeking there.
It was a valid attempt, I guess, you know. The thought was there, the execution wasn't. But now trying to commit onto A site, looking for the first kill. They're able to find the opener is Mallard on the Octi. Sage ball goes out as well as the plant. But VALORANT was able to find a kill, so it's only going to be this chamber left with the operator and sitting on the opposite side of the map. No real big opportunity for the retake. And with the operator, you probably
I know if I was him, I would definitely be looking at that save. But getting that econ damage, it shouldn't be counted out. That would be extremely valuable, you know, to make sure that they're not able to snowball their way back into being dominant right here. And he looks for the pick and he gets it. It does pay off here, but if they start swinging him too much, he could lose the most valuable weapon in the game.
Yeah, and that is so many credits down the drain if he goes down, and well, that's unlucky. Mallard does take him down. I don't think he can get there in time for the operator. He can't, just unfortunately. But operator now off the table, and you just look at the economy here for McDegens. It's really
McDegens are able to get a partial buy, but they're opting to kind of tone it back a little bit because I think they're starting to notice 2 rounds going back to Pepega Pufferfish's way, and they're already almost broke. So they're looking to do a little bit of damage here, maybe take one of the guns from the other side to prevent them from getting up to that 5,000, 7,000 credit range. But this round, it's going to need some heroics from somebody.
It's definitely a bit of a split commit here. 3 members pushing into A for McDegens. Chamber, I believe, still does have the operator opted to pick up another one after that round. So he will be looking. Nope, it's actually a Vandal. Just kidding.
But McDegens Chambers early on the flank, and he found the spike. He knows where the spike is.
The fact that they just have spike is so big. It is. Oh, it is going to be the Viper pick coming out here as well. The nade from Raised is going to do so much damage on the backside there too.
And now the map's kind of gone into chaos because they had spike, they got flanked back, he got the pick, but there's a Viper pit right where they're walking into, so they're gonna have to contest it if they want to be able to plant, or they're gonna have to plant in the only open spot on backside. And I think McDegens will know exactly where they are.
30 seconds left.
The judge in the Viper's pit. Always something.
Just such a lethal combination.
Spike down B.
Just sitting in this corner. I think he knows he's there. This rocket. Oh, Kamo's able to find the headshot. So that Viper kit is going to drop it. So little time to plant this spike. And I think he is going to be able to get it down in time. Spike does go down. Using the satchel charge to get back as well. I do believe they know where he is as he pops out a nade pretty much onto the spike. The angle past the Sage wall. Not able to find the kills. Elixir gets it.
But Elixir has no idea where Chamber is.
Yeah, has the Judge, or excuse me, the Spectre as well. Takes the first of fuse, might be sticking it here in the second, and Rialdo is gonna find him.
Got a little bit testy there.
Yeah.
For a second, I was going to say, I don't know if Chamber had the angle from right there, but he's able to slide just enough just to see the head peeking out and secure that round. I think that Chamber might have been having some technical problems for a second there. It looked like he was staring at a wall for part of that round.
Yeah,
the timeout might be related to that. Could be a teammate timeout. Oh, it looks like it's going to be a timeout from the defender side. From the McDegens.
It is Elixir currently sitting on about 200 ping, so not exactly something you want to play with.
It's Elixir on the high ping, but even though it seemed like Chamber that it was lagging out. But we can take the second in just these next 30 seconds just to talk about, I think what's really working best for Pepega Pufferfish right now is they're not full sending any sites. I don't know that we've seen them just run into a site right off the bat. I think that every single round they've probed, they've looked for their information and where they're holding. They haven't just been full sending and leaving it up to chance, to RNG, to utility, to, you know, force their way in. And because they're getting these opening picks, or they're rotating, they're letting McDegens over rotate, they're really getting easy site access. A couple times they've barely had to contest for B because, you know, McDegens are having to rotate back into it because they took the bait on the other site or they over rotated. And so if Pepega Pufferfish can keep that up for this round, it's going to start looking scary already on map 1. But we knew this would be favoring them on this map. So that is, to be fair, got to give McDegens credit. They're up against people who, some of them have a 70% win rate. But they gotta work on, you know, countering that slow default.
Rialdo going to pull out the tour de force here as well, looking for the commit onto A. Doesn't spot out anyone. That was the initial thought. Both of them have the tour de force out. Who's going to win it? He wants to trade. He actually sends a shot down. I believe Sage peeked out first and just wasn't able to find that flick.
Better to play it safe than sorry and keep that weapon in. And I think that McDegens have read this pretty well. They have a 4-person stack over to where the spike's going. Yamo does get the pick, but I don't think they know that there's going to be 2 to 3 more people here. Oh, he misses the shot!
Spike planted.
Elixir's not able to finish off. He's full flash, though, as he tries to go in with the rocket jump. And comes back around the corner. Zeno able to find another, and now it's Bubba up against 4 with the operator in his hands. Really be able to find anything. It's going to be the wall and onto the spike. He does get rid of the tour de force first. So no operators left to deal with, but so many different angles, so many players. There's another. That's the second. Drops Yummy Mac. He doesn't know where anyone is, though. That's the biggest issue right now. Sage is holding this eagle so close. He's going to find him. Isn't able to find the kill right away, though. And looking, not able to connect with the first shot. Knows someone's behind him. Tries to turn around, but that's all she wrote. AZ Zeno finally swings back around, and it's another round for the Pepega Pufferfish.
And even if Nick Bubba is able to hit those shots at that point, that is a monumental amount of ground to cover. Like, there's not time on the clock by the time he's able to clear all those angles out. So once again, the Pepega Pufferfish played in the right way. They have everyone fall back. They're not contesting too hard. I think that they maybe overextended a little bit trying to peek with his the ultimate, and that didn't quite work out, but they had someone on the flanks. They had the security blanket there. All they had to do was play time, but they end up hitting the shot anyways, so it goes in their favor.
Gotta be happy about that. And once again, just working around A, looking for those opportunities. It's another operator here for Chamber. Sage does have a bunch of walls down here as well as that Viper wall, so there's so many opportunities for them to slow down this push if they did want to go full force on it.
But you can tell already this isn't a full push. They've left the spike back. It feels like a push to the defenders right now, to the McDegens, but it's just another default. Oh, the Viper gets a huge pick on V, and it's down to 5v2.
Yeah, 3 members drop there. And across the site, it is forced down to a 4v2, though, as Rialdo is able to find the pick onto Elixir. And they're going to try and maybe rotate this one out. They know they have the spike back here. They can play safe. No, I think they might be faking back towards. Maybe just waiting for somebody to get a little aggressive and push for that pick. But I think Zeno's going to get cut off guard in the back here. He is. And McDegen's able to pick up their 3rd round.
Yeah, they just lost too much map control in that round, which was good on the McDegens part. They kept someone anchored at B, and it paid off big there. If they had full rotated to what looked like was going to be a fast execute on A, they would have lost the round. But they have Viper anchoring behind that yellow, and he's able to catch those attackers off ground that are thinking they're just going to be able to sneak into sight again. So I think that round they're paid off, and it looks like they're able to get a little bit of adaptation going in the middle of this game. And I think they'll be able to bring it back to a 5-7 or, you know, something respectable by the end of the half.
Yeah, and you'd love to be able to pull as many rounds you can right here. I'm not too familiar with McDegens, but certainly can be a team that's way more comfortable in attack. But this could be a full commit here onto A. You mentioned we haven't seen one of these yet, but it's all 5 members down in A with the spike there as well. But that Sage Wall, the slow orb, is done a lot to slow him down, and you can see the chamber there from McDegens slowly lurking around the backside.
We got the KO suppressed. He's doing the reverse flashes like I was talking about, and it's just too hard for them to push in because they know he's holding that down. They're forced to rotate here, and McDegens, they have someone watching mid, which looks like they might go there. They're about to get a big fight. Oh, he does get one. It's an even trade.
Yeah, quick 1-for-1 trade middle, and Stinky might be looking for something, but it is 3-4 members moving over towards this B site. Yeah, you got a member up too. The Viper Pit goes down, and it's going to allow so much extra range and movement for them onto this site. And it's just such a hard retake. 4 members still up. Viper Pit available. And you really don't know where everybody is. And now into the 1v4. And for McOptibot, it would be nothing short of a miracle to pick up this round.
And there's just too many angles to clear. Like I was talking about last round, even if he finds every single one of these picks, he has to find the picks first, let alone win all of those picks. And so while McDegens looked good at the start of that round, they rotated all the way over to that A, but they just didn't leave anyone anchoring. And I think because Pepega hadn't actually gotten on site, it might have been a bit of an over rotate. So coming into this round, their buy is going to be weak. They needed that round, honestly, if they were looking to get that even scoreline. But to pick up Pufferfish were able to get the outplays. They're reading their opponents, and I can see why this team is 4-0 in the tournament right now.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you know, they really needed that round, and that's where the momentum shift comes in. And that's where it could have been really important for them to pick it up. But
clean shot by
What
Mallard.
a frag there from Mallard. Headshots. He says, yeah, give me those. And they're going to just try and send it onto the B side. Shady is here with the judge. Able to pick
one
off
goes
the
for the
other
second.
Viper. Oh, not able to take him down as Mallard picks off his second in the round. He's looking for 3. That's a 3K to his name. 50 HP remaining, but he's got a Sage still up. Might be headed over for the free heal.
I have the spike.
They're going to work their way back over towards A site after the over rotation here for McDegens, it's looking like.
Yeah, and you can tell they weren't necessarily planning on full executing on B again. This is they're pulling back into their same strat book. The spike was sitting in spawn until about like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So I like seeing that they know what works for them, and they're pulling back from their book. They know how to read these teams that they're up against.
More than happy to find that pick, and even if you commit all the way through, say, oh, well, the site's probably free at this point. Walks on in, still has 2 members there. You had Sage pushed all the way up, just underneath rafters there in the A site, and easily take it. Headed into the last round before halftime here, and well, 3-8.
Turning into a bit of a broken record here, but McDegens' economy is just looking tough. This isn't where you want to be when you're trying to close out the half and maybe get that 4-8 scoreline, which, if you're better on the other side, is what you'd be aiming for at like a bare minimum. But they're just looking for anything they can find here. They've gone for a bit more of an A stack, but I just hope that they keep their players on their site as long as they can until they know it's a full game. And getting that opening pick is huge, but if they completely leave A, I can see them falling back.
Yeah, I mean, there's the Sage resurrection, so they're back into this 5v4 as the trade did come through. The Viper Pit is there, but it is already the Viper going down. Only 2 members left for McDegens. The Rocket Fuse is there. Well, Stinky, you're not surviving that one. And Pufferfish are going to finish out the half with a 9-3 lead.
Switching sides.
And I like what we see. I think that the half went over. Honestly, I think it was a pretty good half. The scoreline doesn't quite say so, but quite a few of these rounds, they did come pretty close. They were able to get some of the picks, some of the trades, like we saw when they're crossing through mid. They do get that trade. And if you can get those trades, then, you know, it adds up, and maybe you can find yourself in a more favorable retake or situation to block the push. But they just, I think like we said, the over rotates just didn't work out for them. So they're really going to have to, you know, come out and really prove themselves on this attacking side. They got a lot of ground to cover, but like we said at the beginning, the 9-3 curse is real. So you still got to have faith in them.
Yeah, 9-3 curse is definitely real, but we'll have to see if it's in McDegen's favor this time around. But already such an early frag, the chamber with the sheriff, essentially. It's always such a scary thing to go up versus in the pistol. You start hearing him shoot. I really don't want any of that.
I think that Chambers, if he's using his headhunter, yep, his headhunter is like objectively the best like price point weapon in the game. That thing is frightening, and looks like he knows how to use it against this team. Oh, but Pika had a bit of a pinch, but Gammo gets timinged by Shady B, and they're going for the rotate, but Viper has this early control. She knows exactly what's happening here. Think around them. She hears their every move.
And just reading them incredibly well. They're going to be rotating over. Sage is already here, so potentially can be looking for an early frag or try and slow down this play. She's got the wall out, and that's 2 quick members dropping from Viper. Oh my goodness, there's the flash. Should be able to find the trade kill with the frenzy. No, my,
not quite.
It's not possible, but there it is. Pepega Pufferfish pick up their 10th.
Check your angles, guys. They don't quite clear out that box on the way in for B long, and that lost them the round. Viper got all 3 of those kills. A 3v5 isn't a situation where, you know, that you really have a lot of hope that you're gonna pull the round through, but the Viper just destroys anything left that they had. And now at 3-10, and they can't even buy here. This is when they bring in the timeout and they're like, okay, we're going to need some big bang strats. We're going to need to outmaneuver them, because I think that Pepega Pufferfish just got way too much map control in that pistol round. You know, they had someone up B long, they had someone up mid, and the person up mid died, but it still gave them the intel. And they knew exactly where McDegens were trying to go. They had a solid grasp.
Yeah, incredibly comfortable just reading this map. And we mentioned earlier, you know, they have a 70, or excuse me, it's not them specifically, but a couple of their players have 70% win rates on Icebox. They know exactly how this map plays, whether it's on attacking, on defense. They can read the other team, and it's going incredibly well for them. My real interest is going to be when the second and potentially third maps come around. How comfortable are they on them compared to Icebox?
Yeah, I think we're going to really need to see if McDegens have adequately prepared for, it was Fracture was the next map, correct?
Yes, Fracture.
Yeah, if they have adequately prepared for Fracture, I think they could have a chance. Like we were talking about the team play. And this is when you start talking about, is it GG go next? Are they just thinking, okay, these are the things. Ooh, a crazy flip from Stinky. There's one more person here, though. They haven't cleared him out. They're just thinking, what can we do here, and how can we use what we've learned here to do better on the next map?
B.
Viper's
Last player
destroying
standing.
them right here, and she gets out. She lives to get more. This round's falling apart. It's over with a 4K from Yummy Mac.
And a great bonus there. Only one member falling, and now into 11. 1 round away from map point. You've got to feel incredibly comfortable, incredibly confident right now. They're going to hold on to these Spectres. No real reason to buy them. I didn't even realize, but I think McDegens might have bought or soft bought in that last round. A lot of them really don't have.
Yeah, they had a
credits
couple of small buys there, so their economy is in shambles right now. But they have to buy something, or you know, they're at it's match point. So they bring out 2 sheriffs, and Stinky's looking to have a repeat of last round, and you know, just find at least someone, get some value to try and bring them back into this game at all.
Yeah, and they'd love to do exactly what Stinky did, but do it 5 more times, and just start clicking on heads at this point. But Stinky is actually going to be the first one to drop, and I've already taken so much damage. It is into the 4v4. KO and Chamber both running incredibly low here, though, for McDegens. They're going to try and rotate out, but Yummy Mac, he's there. He's waiting. It just knows that they want to flank out, knows that they might want to try and rotate. It just has the perfect angle to gun him down.
And I love what Yummy Mac did there. He gets the rotate, he gets the flank, he gets the pick, and then he gets out. He doesn't overextend. They have a dominant lead in this map right now at 11-3, but he's not overextending. They're playing smart. They're trading off of each other. And Gamo's fighting for his life right now, but he still goes for the pick, and he gets it with a 3K to end the map, or to bring them the map point. Sorry, excuse me. But it's pretty much the end of the map at this point.
Yeah, they're gonna force rifles here most likely. For the rest of the squad, Pega. Oh, just kidding. Just the Phantom for Yummy Mac.
See, they're still playing smart. They're still respecting their teammates, and they know we're gonna take our map phase, so we're gonna use the guns that we have, and that's all we need to do. We have such a comfortable buffer. They don't feel the need to force right here. You know, they're playing just in case McDgens do pull this round, they'll have the economic buffer to, you know, fight back on the next one.
They'll have a large economic buffer as well. And he's not playing no games. Goes right into Michelix's face. Takes that first kill. Does get traded back, but when you're working with the Spectre versus rifles, you are not complaining about that.
And they saw that they were leaning toward that side, put down the Viper Spit. McDegen have to pull back. They can see the Viper utility on that round, and they're paranoid. Chamber was just watching their flank that whole time.
Oh,
because that's how they got wrecked last time. But
Mallard.
Mallard's so far forward.
Oh, here it goes. Oh,
who doesn't land it?
Oh, I wanted it so bad right there, but he's just not able to find it. They are full rotated over Chamber, the only one on site right now. If the flash is going to come out, is going to come into the site. There's the first kill. Shady B is able to find out Rialdo as he is going to take over this site. 2 members remaining versus the 4 here for McDgens. Trying to enter. The first shot doesn't connect here from Bubba, but he's going to continue to hold that same angle as Sage is working over towards the rafters. Spike eventually goes down. Now you have Pepega on this timer. They're not too worried if they lose this round. They would love to do it. 1-2 trades. You're in the 1v2 now. Azino knows there's someone up top and it's just lurking. Where this last person is. Oh no, but gets taken out of the air by Bubba. It is McDgens able to pick up a round. It's a little grasp of hope at the end of the day.
And McBubba Wyatt just having to really do it all just to keep them just hanging in this map. And that was a nice, like, I think that op shot is great for their confidence to bring this into this next one. Clicking the person out of the air. And, you know, that's what we were talking about. If McDegen can start to find that confidence, maybe they can build up a little bit here and bring that into the next map. Because really, it's a game of confidence. And if you're taking these gunfights without it, you've already lost half the battle.
Oh, absolutely. And maybe they just try and go for a full force somewhere. They're all going down B long here. You know, he knows that. They realize nobody's A, nobody's looking mid. They have to be B, and it's going to be the full rotation out here for Pepega.
Well, Pepega read this perfectly. And all McDegens have is the chamber on the flank. They're not even applying any other map pressure. They're going to have to force in here.
Yeah, 2 members on yellow. Shady B going to throw out the toxins, but not able to get anything. He does have the Viper Spin, but it goes down instantly. Just feeds out a little bit too far, gets traded, and now we're into the 3v3. Stinky trying to wall on the site. He's going to get the resurrection as well. Forces it into the 4v3. McDegen's trying to hold on for dear life. The knife does get taken out. Still lurking around this side, just looking for those frags, but oh my goodness, 2 members dropped, and it's turned right back around on its head into the 2v3.
And you saw his knife got shot, and he just didn't know what to do. He didn't know where it got shot from. He got 0 information, and they're still stuck behind yellow. And he sees Viper peeking. Shady B gets the pick, though. So now they're in a 2v2 situation. This has the potential to be winnable and bring them into 1 more round. Holding down the angle. The possibilities there. So, yeah, opts to go for the Phantom, but doesn't get land a shot. Now in a 1v2. Only 8 seconds left on the clock. He gets the plant down, but he's being flanked.
Oh, he's pinched, and it's just such a hard spot. You have to play risky just in case they're sticking it, and yeah, that is going to be it. The crossfire set up perfectly, and Pepega Pufferfish will take our first map, 13-4.
and just
Defenders
really
win.
intelligent play from Papega Pufferfish through that entire map. We saw the way that they weren't on attack. They were never forcing. They were never rushing a site, except when they were trying to adapt to that one round that they lost. But they were never rushing. They were in very slow, deliberate control. And I loved seeing that from them. And it ended up translating perfectly to defense. That whole time they were getting that map control. They were, prodding down long, getting that, like, those flanks. You can't do anything without them knowing. And ultimately, I think that's what gave them the map win. Just having such dominant map control, even though some of the gunfights were pretty back and forth.
Yeah, Valorant is a game all about information, and they had just about all of it at the end of the day, and gave them an easy win. Well, I don't want to say an easy win, but a pretty dominant one there in map number 1.
Yeah, 12-4, it's not feeling great if you're on the D-Gens, but you just hope that they've built up a bit of that confidence from some of their shots. Maybe they've learned a little bit about the other team, and that they're going to be able to pull that into Fracture.
Alrighty, well, don't go anywhere. We are going to do a quick stream reset, try and get some of these issues fixed, but when we're back, it's map number 2.